One of the greatest fighters to come out of the Asia-Pacific region, Gabriel Flash Elorde, was born on March 25, 1935, the youngest in a family of 16. An excellent boxer, the famed southpaw became an Oriental champion at all weights, from bantamweight to lightweight. In an active career, Elorde had 44 title fights, 15 for world titles, and was involved in at least one every year from 1952 to 1967. Elorde had several memorable ring battles, and among them were his two fights against world featherweight champion Sandy Sadler, regarded at that time as one of the dirtiest fighters in the business. In their first encounter on July 20, 1955, Elorde stunned the boxing world when he outpointed Sadler in a 10-round non-title fight in Manila. It was a ring battle etched in the memories of many for the sheer gallantry of Elorde. With his newfound confidence and his ranking as a contender, Flash Elorde dared to face Sadler in a rematch at the Cow Palace in San Francisco, California on January 18, 1956, with Sadler's world featherweight title on the line. Elorde fought brilliantly and appeared en route to winning the title when referee Ray Flores called a halt in the 13th round because of a nasty gash suffered by Elorde as Sadler laced, poked, elbowed and pawed the young Filipino in an ugly display of viciousness in the ring.
A southpaw fighter usually fights from that left-handed or right-handed lead. With very sharp right jabs. Nice combinations by Elorde. But Elorde is not noted as being a powerful puncher. He's very busy and quick with his hands. Now he's getting through Sadler and getting there well. Sadler now is in trouble as Elorde found in there with a right hand and banged away with a left and right to the jaw, and Sadler is now holding on. Sandy Sadler dropped his mouthpiece in that infighting. Stooped as though to pick it up, although probably it was just to get it out of the way because it was right at his feet. Elorde now banging in there with a good right hand to the mouth. Elorde again has the champion in a little trouble. Right at the end of the 7th round by Sadler, he has not been able to increase the wound. And now, Flash Elorde, with that two-fisted combination punching attack, has drawn blood from the nose of Sadler. Good right hand by Elorde after he took a left again on the cut over his left eye. Now Sadler jolts him with the right hand. Elorde is fighting furiously. He doesn't want to see his chance at the featherweight title slip away because of a cut eye, and it is a pretty good cut. And this time, I believe, Ray Flores may have stopped the fight. He takes him over into the corner and has the doctor come up and look at it. And the fight has been stopped in the 13th round with Sandy Sadler, the winner, on a technical knockout.
Fight fans booed the decision and pelted the ring with debris. The Philippine ambassador to Washington at that time was the eminent diplomat General Carlos P. Romulo. General Romulo told Elorde, "You may have lost the fight, but you won the hearts of Americans by your gallantry." Elorde didn't get another title shot for the rest of the decade, but remained a ranked contender. Elorde's father-in-law and manager, the grand old man of Philippine boxing, the astute Lope Papasarial, took the manager of world champion Harold Gomes out for drinks and convinced him to sign a contract for Gomes to defend his title against Elorde in Manila, pointing out that the Flash didn't have an impressive ring record. Gomes, on the other hand, was a rugged fighter who won the title with a unanimous 15-round decision over Paul Jorgensen of Houston, Texas on July 20, 1959, after earlier scoring a unanimous 10-round decision over Jorgensen, who was highly ranked by Ring magazine, in a close fight on March 27, 1959.
Gomes still on the attack. Gomes is really carrying this fight to Jorgensen.
Come on, Gomes. Come on, get us in.
In white, Paul Jorgensen.
The decision as scored by the officials. Judge Carl Gardner scores it 98 Gomes, 95 Jorgensen. Judge Freddie Aronson scores it 97 Gomes, 95 Jorgensen. Referee Billy Regan scores it 96 Gomes, 95 Jorgensen. The winner by unanimous decision, Harold Gomes.
Gomes moved towards the title shot against Jorgensen with a 7th round knockout of Harold Smith of New York on January 20, 1958, in which Gomes demonstrated his aggressive style and his punching power.
Smith trying to get in and clinch. There he goes. That's all.
It was March 16, 1960, at the inauguration of the Araneta Coliseum, when Gabriel Flash Elorde scored a spectacular 7th round knockout to win the World Junior Lightweight title from Harold Gomes. The Araneta Coliseum became in many ways the home of Flash Elorde and the site of many epic ring battles. On December 16, 1960, Elorde faced Vicente Rivas of Venezuela, who had beaten Elorde in a 10-round bout in controversial fashion in Caracas in June 1959. Before another huge crowd at the Araneta Coliseum, the sports and entertainment mecca of the Philippines, Elorde put on a classic display to avenge his defeat, dropping Rivas a couple of times en route to a comfortable 10-round decision. Hard right by Elorde. Rivas again ties him up. Elorde works to the body, has him against the ropes, goes after him. Flash Elorde, good thundering flurry of punches to the body. Rivas tries to fight back and he's down. Good combination by Flash Elorde, and Vicente Rivas is down. And Elorde wins by a unanimous 10-round decision. Papasarial seen there in the ring with Flash Elorde, and Philemon Solomon, his trainer. Elorde, very pleased at that victory, avenged the defeat to Vicente Rivas. Elorde fought Japan's Teruo Kosaka 5 times for the Oriental title, as well as the World Crown, and won 4 of their 5 encounters. For their 5th and final ring battle at the Araneta Coliseum, it was packed to the rafters, and fight fans were treated to a memorable display of skill and punching power by Elorde. Elorde dropped Kosaka 5 times before ending the Japanese challenger's gallant stand with a sensational 15th round knockout on June 15, 1965. The defeat ended Kosaka's ring career. That final encounter at the Araneta Coliseum underscored how George Nene Araneta, owner of the Araneta Coliseum, described Elorde: a supreme fighter and a humble person. One of the most respected boxing patrons in the Philippines and a man known internationally for his contribution to the sport of boxing and the development of Filipino world champions such as WBO light flyweight champion Donny Nietes and WBO minimum weight champion Melito Taiga Sabilio, who will soon be defending their titles, is Ala Promotions' Antonio Tony Aldeguer. To Aldeguer, just like to millions of Filipinos of his era, Elorde was and will always remain a hero.
Elorde was my inspiration. I really love the guy. I idolize him so much that, my parents used to joke about me because on my bed, on my bedside, on top of my bedside, where some people have the pictures of our Lord Jesus Christ, some they have the pictures of their parents. What I had was the picture of Flash Elorde. I remember him as a very, very honest individual, disciplined person, but very humble. And that's what really made me idolize him. And I believe that, I hope that our other boxers nowadays could emulate what Flash Elorde was before.
You know, he was, besides being religious and a good family man in later years and all, as a boxer, as a fighter, what was so special about him?
His durability, his toughness, and his guts. I would say the ability, the skill, he was at par with the other boxer. But what really made him a world champion, as far as I'm concerned, was his guts. Because before he fought Harold Gomez for the world title, you have to remember that he was already, people believe, was on his way down. After losing to Sandy Sadler, and he lost several fights, he lost to Miguel Barrios, twice in the States. So people thought that he was on the way down. Then he made a comeback, and what he made is right now history.
In recognition of Flash Elorde's greatness, the World Boxing Council, on its 20th anniversary celebration in New York, named Elorde and the classy Alex Arguello of Nicaragua as the best junior lightweights in the history of the WBC. World Boxing Council President, the late Don Jose Suleyman, who was recently succeeded by his son Mauricio Suleyman as president, paid tribute to Elorde as one of the greatest champions of all time and referred to Flash as my hero a few months before he regrettably passed away.
I am one of the people in the world that thinks of Flash Elorde as one of the greatest fighters that ever lived. Not only in the ring, but also as a human being. I met him by seeing a couple of his fights, and afterwards in 1953, when we had a meeting at the United Nations in New York. He went with all his family. He received the green and gold belt that did not exist at this time. And I remember him with his tears of pride, of dignity, and honor. Boxers like Flash Elorde do not exist anymore. Today, boxing is how much money and with who am I going to fight? Flash Elorde was when I'll be there. I think that Flash Elorde stands in the WBC as an example to the young people and the people of the world. And I take this opportunity to send it to his family and all of the Philippines my gratitude for having had such a great boxing hero, my hero. Thank you.
Gabriel Flash Elorde was truly a hero of our time, someone who richly deserves our remembering, because for all of us, the passing of the summers hasn't dimmed the cherished memories of one of the greatest Filipino champions of all time. Gabriel Flash Elorde was and will always be remembered as the quintessential Filipino, a champion who feared no man but was humble before all men. This is Ronnie Nathaniels.